Hungary, Agnieszka Justitia the First of Onestia, that is Agnieszka Beata Magdalena Rojek, the noble queendom of Onestia, not to confuse with whatever voices try to take over my work. I am sitting at my desk composing these huge little pieces with the feel of Sissi asking Hungary to stay with Austria, except that she had the formal status and to all appearances a bit more skilled. I believe we have been misled into the European Union, which from the very start had a purpose quite different from the declared. General public were horrified with the atrocities of the World War, the new face of humankind that had showed through the inhuman crimes committed as part of it, explained in terms of high ideals. All wanted peace and a guarantee of it. Thus the European Union, as the somewhere we belong, constituted a new dream of freedom, solidarity, but first and foremost, membership. The answer to the question, who are we? People, most of us, like to be noble. It has to do with our personal sense of dignity. The European Union was a creation fulfilling the above needs, so most of us wanted to join. In the overall enthusiasm and incrementally weakening education, we failed to consider the nature of this new creation. We were given to believe that the whole project was Christian, which is the first misconception. More than that, it is not even Roman, it is Greek. That we learn from the anthem. Let me read the ode to you. Excuse the inadequate German and the lack of practice in reading. An die Freude. Freude, schöne Gitterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium. Wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum. Deine Zauber binden wieder, was der Mode Schwert geteilt. Bettler werden Fürstenbrüder, wo dein sanfter Flügel weilt. Seid umschlungen, Millionen, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. Brüder, überm Sternenzelt muss ein lieber Vater wohnen. Wem der große Wurf gelungen, eines Freundes Freund zu sein, wer ein holdes Weib errungen, mische seinen Jubel ein. Ja, wer auch nur eine Seele seinend auf dem Erdenrund. Und wer's nie gekonnt, der Stille weinend sich aus diesem Bund. Was den großen Ring bewohnet, huldige der Sympathie, zu den Sternen leitet sie, wo der Unbekannte thronet. Freude trinken alle Wesen an den Brüsten der Natur. Alle Guten, alle Bösen folgen ihrer Rosenspur. Küsse gab sie uns und Reben, einen Freund, geprüft im Tod. Wollust ward dem Wurm gegeben, und der Cherub steht vor Gott. Ihr stürzt nieder, Millionen. Ahndest du den Schöpferwelt? Such ihn überm Sternenzelt. Über Sternen muss er wohnen. Freude heißt die starke Feder in der ewigen Natur. Freude, Freude treibt die Räder in der großen Weltenuhr. Blumen lockt sie aus den Keimen, Sonnen aus dem Firmament. Sphären rollt sie in den Räumen, die des Sees Rohr nicht kennt. Froh, wie seine Sonnen fliegen, durch des Himmels prächtigen Plan, laufet, Brüder, eure Bahn, freudig wie ein Held zum Siegen. Aus der Wahrheit Feuerspiegel lächelt sie den Forscher an, zu der Tugend steilem Hügel leitet sie des Dulders Bahn. Auf des Glaubens Sonnenberge sieht man ihre Fahnen wehen. Durch den Riss gesprengte Särge, sie im Hort der Engel stehen. Duldet mutig, Millionen, duldet für die bessere Welt. Droben überm Sternenzelt wird ein großer Gott belohnen. Güten kann man nicht vergelten. Schön ist's, ihnen gleich zu sein. Gram und Armut so sich melden, mit den Freuen sich erfreuen. Groll und Rache sei vergessen, unserem Todfeind sei verziehen. Keine Tränen soll ihn pressen, keine Reue nage ihn. Unser Schuldbuch sei vernichtet, ausgesöhnt die ganze Welt. Brüder, überm Sternenzelt richtet Gott, wie wir gerichtet. Freude sprudelt in Pokalen, in der Traube goldenem Blut, trinken Sanftmut Kannibalen, die Verzweiflung Heldenmut. Brüder, fliegt von euren Sitzen, weint der volle Römerkreis, lasst den Schaum zum Himmel spritzen, dieses Glas dem guten Geist. Den der Sterne Wirbel loben, den des Seraphs Hymne preis, dieses Glas den guten Geist übern Sternenzelt dort oben. Festen Mut in schwerem Leiden, Hilfe, wo die Unschuld weint. Ewigkeit geschworenen Eiden, Wahrheit gegen Freund und Feind. Männerstolz vor Königsthronen, Brüder, Geld ist Gut und Blut, dem Verdienste seine Kronen, Untergang der Liegenblut. Schließt den heiligen Zirkeldichter schwört bei diesem golden Wein, dem Gelübde treu zu sein, schwört es bei dem Sternenlichter. Rettung von Tyrannenketten, Großmut auch dem Bösewicht, Hoffnung auf den Sterbebetten, Gnade auf dem Hochgericht. Auch die Toten sollen leben. Brüder, trinkt und stimmet ein. Alle Sünden soll vergeben und die Hölle nicht mehr sein. Eine heitere Abschiedsstunde, süßen Schlaf im Leichentuch. Brüder, einen sanften Spruch aus der Totenrichters Munde. Please interpret it for the essence now. You can find translations. I looked at the translation into Polish. Of course, I will read the original with the dictionary and check what I can check as a proper philologist does, and so should you. But this is for now to give you some orientation. I can create a full interpretation of the original text in future. So this is the anthem. Then we need to consider the flag. It alludes to the Holy Book, to the Holy Bible. Which part of it? Those who are capable of following my thought know that for years I have been publishing my perception of history, viewing it as a spiritual history of humankind. It is a romantic idea too. Like none I know, I was pointing to the ancient religions and the spiritual significances. Oh, I cannot read myself. Related. Like none I know, I was pointing to the ancient religions and the spiritual significances related to the mission of the Roman Catholic Church. The United States are critical in this analysis, for there it is obvious. The Christian civilization arrived and destroyed the indigenous one. We must be aware it was happening, or was being attempted all over the world. Furthermore, the America reached for Africa. How? As for Europe, my research and findings concerning the Roman Catholic Church suggest that the original Christian faith was put under the Roman control through the creation of the Church, which means the Roman Catholic Church is the ancient Roman Empire. When we take that perspective, we are led to reconsider Great Britain, factually conquered by the Roman Empire in the person of William the Conqueror already in 1066. Quite unaware of the historical and historic overtones, I honored William the Conqueror at the age of 16. I guess I have been living the consequences since. The point I am making are the spiritual powers living and ruling in the places before the Roman Empire came, including our Slavic countries there in Poland. They are not dead. You cannot kill the spirit. Another important perspective is provided by the development of what we call the left wing, in the wake of the French Revolution. Whether it is an Olympian scheme or some other mountain scheme, developed and implemented by a foreign god, is a proper field for study. But I am leading the argument elsewhere for now, though the question can be traveling with me as I proceed. The 20th century marks the beginning of communism. As I pointed out in my royal speech, part 3, dealing with transhumanism, I consider the three icons, Stalin, Mao and Hitler, the representatives of pre-communism, which implies the mature communism, with all its atrocities, is already to come. We can assume the cultural revolution started in China will be completed. The three left-wing icons, Hitler belongs to National Socialism, stand for three empires, Russia, China and Germany. That alone implies a new world order. To all appearances, Germany was knocked out, but we may experience surprises. The overall tendency is full suppression of the spirit. The Israeli spirit, the Hindu spirit. The extermination camps show it explicitly. Jews desecrated, the Hindu symbol of happiness desecrated. These are the most powerful religions, the ancient religions, surviving, the religions whose spirituality was royal and high, very high. Both Christianity and Buddhism take it lower, to the masses, but they take it lower by the power of the king, who chooses to be kind-hearted and good, not by the power of the masses. The appearance and survival of Islam proves there had been something missing or wrong in Christianity, or does it take it a step further towards the masses? I uphold the first position. Something was wrong or missing in the Christianity as it was at the time. For it needs to be emphasized that Jews, Christians and Muslims are one nation, the nation of Abraham. The three grow from what we Christians read as the Old Testament. Whoever says anything else lies in the presence of God. Due to insufficient knowledge of the East, I shall focus on our nation. We lived in the world of green fields, close to nature, in harmony with the universe, until we introduced machines into our lives. The Russian philosophy at the beginning of the 20th century stated directly, we need to know it and secure our spiritual world. It is the spiritual world that minds individual deaths and perversions of humanity. The inhumanity of the world wars was a wake-up call. The 1989 did not bring the end of communism. The ancient, actually Roman, if I recall correctly, tactics of advance retreat, wedge, frontal attack. I described these on the basis of Othello in my MA thesis, the text written just before the 11th of September 2001. The atrocities committed by the Christian world have the historic value of the loss of the moral right to rule the world, to rule the world. The Christian project, inverted commas, if you choose the modern term, had failed by the time of the wars. Our times reap what we, as humankind, have been doing since. Some have been working towards the frontal attack after they retract and advance gradually, I gather. It has not come yet, but the ground is prepared. This is the New World Order, defined as global communism with the capital in Beijing. José Manuel Barroso never hid that he had been a Maoist. I am not sure if anyone asked if he had been, or if he had been being one. Still, our Western left-wing, right-wing perception of global politics just proves once again how Eurocentric we still are in our deep-seated thinking. We still speak the French Revolution. Some of them sat on the left, some of them on the right, and some in the center. I believe we are heading for a far worse horror. The current months have proved what I was screaming out from my balcony in the recent years, probably being one of the first victims in Europe. We, the Israeli, the Abrahamic nation of Jews, Christians and Muslims, have lost the moral right to rule the world through the atrocities we have agreed to as people of the faith, many departing from the faith, which is also the failure. The new view of the European Union as a trap aiming at the destruction of the Roman Europe and establishing it as the Greek one, which makes me think so much of the communist genius, can strike back at itself. The point is the left wing are abusive of the ancient religions. They do not take them as they are, but degrade them. There are no monuments of the virginal Artemis raised in our ever-present awareness. There are Dionysia, excuse me, a difficult word. It creates a war between the modern world and the ancient world. It signals a necessity of return and the inherent weakness in the false faith, false philosophy. If we take the overview further, we can start thinking again of the ancient civilizations, their power and genius. We do have the Asian Empire in the making. The South America united with Black Africa are working towards the new American Empire, where the white man, the Englishman, becomes insignificant. We need the European Empire, but when creating it, we must know what we really want. The living cartoon of man degraded to a state below the beast that becomes a laughingstock for all continents except the unaware Europe, or a power strong through our real value achievements, age after age, knowing its national identities, the powers, therein the royal monarchic European empires. If we become uniform under the euphemistic equality heading, we shall become communist. We shall become average in the lower ranks. If we agree to create the world with the trans or post-humanist elites and the masses including all that is obedient and non-uniform in our thinking, the time of Europe will end for long, if not forever. the people targeted by COVID are not a percentage. They are individual victims of the atrociously failing world politics, unique in their individuality, full of idiosyncrasies, vanishing in types. Needless to say, what has been done to me and my mom proved beyond the least doubt that, as of today, the 8th of May 2020, Europe is morally dead. So is the Roman Catholic Church through the sin against the Holy Spirit, the desecration of the Virgin. Thank you for your attention. Agnieszka Justitia, the first of Onestia, the noble queen, the guardianess of truth and justice, the protectress of the real, of the pure value, the Virgin. The 8th of May 2020.